Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Thank you for joining us. We are back for our first of two shows in December. If you know our holiday schedule, we do 2 shows in November, 2 shows in December, and then we kick it back off in January for our new season. That's the same thing that's happening this year. One of mine all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, of course, our official website, thestephenknightshow.com, where you can like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And then tonight we welcome 2 Black entrepreneurs. We have Mrs. Nancy Miller of Soul Anchor of Burlington. And then we have Tim Wise of Wear It Wise. You'll learn much more about them later on in the show, but you definitely want to learn more so that you can support, and you'll definitely, it'll benefit you. All right, so welcome back, everybody. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good.
Feeling good. Yeah.
You have a good break?
Yeah, it was a good break. Yeah.
All right, well, our question of the day is, in general, are you usually late, early, or on time? Lynia?
Early.
I believe that. What about you, Chike?
I'm normally early.
Yeah. Chike, Nayyir?
That's an issue of mine. I don't like being tardy.
Yeah. What about you, Nayyir?
Man, y'all set me up, man. How that's the question of the day, and I'm late. You know how that's the question of the day. I don't even want to answer that, man. I ain't playing today. Now, but I think I'm generally. It depends. It depends on the thing. You want which answer you want? The campaign trail answer or the philosophical answer? Which one you want?
Either one.
So I think it just depends on the thing, really. I try to be on time, and I guess on time for me is a few minutes before. But depending on the thing, what part of the day it is, I can be a little late.
Yeah, I want to augment my answer because I'm not early to parties. Like I will purposely come in, a little late.
Makes sense.
Well, they asked
fashionably late, they call it.
They asked Martha Stewart what's the best time to come to a party, and she said within the 15 to 30-minute range after the party starts, because typically the host is not completely ready for the people to come in. But
that's why I say an hour. They work out all the kinks and the hiccups and the giddy ups.
Deal with us.
Yeah, so I should have went with Chike. Depends on the thing, because if it's a party or an event, and I know our folks is throwing it, man, I might not be in that thing till 2 hours later. Like for real.
Well, for me, when it comes to business, I'm always early. When it comes to now, I moved here from music, so when I was doing a lot of shows and things like that, I would always get there early. They still setting up, DJ just walking.
Right.
So I'm always late to that because unless it's like something very like official, because they're setting up and I remember one time I left, came back, still weren't ready. So,
well, wait a minute. In that regard, Stephen, don't you have a scheduled time for sound check?
Yes.
Usually.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
But it's just like y'all, Chike. Don't y'all have call times to get on to film?
And no one's late. No one's late.
Listen,
that's a job.
That's money.
That's a job.
I will literally do sound check.
Lynia can answer. Well, at least when we run our sets, people aren't late.
Really?
We get started. Yes.
Even the stars, even the top actors.
So
we're there already.
Wow.
We're setting up equipment.
Wow.
Yes, so what happens is if your call time is 8 o'clock, that don't mean that you're going on at 8, but you better have your ass there at 8. Only because depending on how that day is going to get set up, and how we're setting up whatever scenes that we're doing. Yeah. Because with film and TV, your call time is always going to be early and you're not immediately going. I've sat on set.
Yeah.
For at least 5 hours before I even did anything.
Yeah.
But as long as I was there on my call time, I'm there. Now, if I came in and I'm like, oh, well, I'm here. Y'all told me I wasn't going on until such and such. They'd be like, man, we're going to have to get security to escort you off the premises. You're no longer employed here. You're no longer employed. So
on a movie set, most of the time that time is allotted out for like hair and makeup. Yep. So that time is accounted for.
Yep. Yeah. And you're chilling. You're waiting there that time. Now I will say this. For parties, I don't feel like parties should be a part of this question because y'all know how our people are.
Absolutely.
So I don't, but anything else, and I know that casting directors have said this to me, when you're early, you're on time.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Mhm.
I'm waiting.
That's true.
Hey,
That's true.
y'all want donuts? Y'all want coffee?
Right.
And to be fair about being early, especially when it comes to business, you never know
Mm-hmm.
what could transpire in those moments that you're there early. I
Mhm.
mean, it makes a difference. People watch.
Absolutely.
Makes a difference.
Absolutely. Well, tweet us at home. Let us know in general. Are you usually late, early, or on time? All right. So hot topic. So Tristan Thompson, he's back in the news. So apparently there's this woman in Texas who her name is Marley Nichols. She is saying that she's pregnant by him. She was supposedly a trainer of his, but she's pregnant by him. She said that they conceived the baby back in March, and she dated around his birthday, and that but they were dating or messing around or whatever for 5 months prior to that. She's since the story broke had the baby allegedly. Now she is alleging that he has sent her some threatening messages, text messages. These were the messages apparently allegedly said. You know how I feel. My feelings haven't changed at all. Won't be involved at all. By the way, if you think having this baby is going to make you some money, it's completely wrong. You are aware that I'm retiring after this season. So in terms of support, it will be whatever is required monthly for someone who's unemployed. It's Texas, so it'll only be a couple $100. So you better off taking this $75K I'm offering, because you won't get nothing near that having a kid with a father who's unemployed. All you have is a baby with no father who has zero involvement with the child, and a few $100s in child support a month. Again, like I said, she's apparently had the baby boy already, and he is asking for a DNA test. Of course, everyone's looking at his history of cheating on Khloe Kardashian, because apparently they were together during this time. Lynia, I'll ask you, are you surprised that this is happening?
All I want for Christmas is not to talk about any Kardashian or Kardashian.
All right.
But I mean, he's trash. Period. Because correct me if I'm wrong, there was a kid before the kid that he had with Khloe that he don't take care of.
Mhm.
And then he wants to act like daddy of the year with Khloe's baby. And he out here sticking his stick in all types of holes, knowing what comes with that. But let me say this. These broads ain't no good either, because they doing it to get a bag. She wasn't in love with him. She knew what she was doing. So they both at fault. I don't feel sorry for neither one of them. The only person that this is going to hurt is that baby.
Mhm.
Because clearly he ain't gonna be involved. She probably should have took the money that he got now. And I don't even, because he not even a star player.
Right.
He coming off the bench. He not even, never mind. Never mind, go somebody else, because
Nayyir, if he's telling her straight up that he's not going to be involved in the baby's life, I'm not going to have any money like that after I retired in the season, should she have taken the $75K, in your opinion?
First off, if he's saying that what a horrible thing to say. If he is saying that, but should she have taken the 75K or 70K? No. If I'm being real, that's enough to go to court with. So she could take that statement and just go to get the best lawyer ever, and she'll get more than 75K at the end of the day. So no, I wouldn't have. That means she's accepting, basically just anything. If she accepts that, and she'll have ruined her own ability to gain more, to get more involvement, or to get more money in the future. But just by doing that alone. So no, she shouldn't take it, or she should figure out to take it and then figure out how to put that in escrow for the baby and still go to court,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, Chike, what are your thoughts on all of this?
As you were talking and you were running down what he allegedly said in the was it an email?
Text.
The email. or
Text.
text. I was thinking in my mind, what a horrible human being, what a horrible person, what a horrible human, that there's a life that you created that you're not willing to even remotely be a part of that child's life. Nix the money. I mean, everyone needs money, but with a lot of children don't have, especially children of color, are fathers. That sucks.
Mhm.
It sucks.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping that he was using it as a scare tactic, but once the DNA test proves that if it is his son, that he does step up to the plate. I
But what
mean,
about the argument, Stephen, of someone having that spotlight, right, and not using it for the purpose in which God gave it to you?
right.
Like, you have the means, you have the spotlight, you could do something different. Be different.
Very true.
Yeah,
Not that
and
smart.
yeah, and I know you want to move on it from the Steve, but even still, that's on record. Knowing how people are these days, that's a horrible way to gauge the waters. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
gauge the temperature. If she telling the truth or not, get the DNA test. You're a grown man. That's gonna be on record forever. You
Yeah.
might not be able to explain that away to the child if it is yours.
Yep.
You know, even if it's not yours, that's still horrible.
Yeah.
A horrible
No,
thing to
definitely.
say and to have on record.
Absolutely.
When there are people out here who are adopting other people's children. So that's still a terrible thing to have someone say about, what is that going to do for them, for that child?
There are key words. There are key words in what he said.
Yeah.
Because you want a DNA test, but yet you said, go ahead and have a kid by somebody who ain't gonna have a father that's gonna be there. So you got an inkling that could possibly be a child. Because I'm gonna say that she probably wasn't just messing with you, but still, you have an inkling that there's a possibility that that child is yours. So there are certain key words in this text that you're an idiot for sending because you know how these brawls is. Because I'm instantly putting it out there.
Right.
That's why I said he ain't that smart.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Well, let's go to the Michigan school shooter, Ethan Crumbley. He was, I believe, 15 years old. He shot up a school, killing 4 students and injuring 7. Well, his parents, they were on the run. They were supposed to show up for Friday for arraignment, and they didn't show up. And so they've been arrested. They were arrested Saturday morning. They were found in what appeared to be a warehouse. Now, the court held their arraignment Saturday morning at the point following their arrest. James and Jennifer Crumbley are their names. They met with their judge, attorneys, and prosecutors via video conference while alone in separate rooms. Now, they're all in the same county courthouse, but in separate cells. James and Jennifer pled not guilty to charges. The judge set the bond for each at $500,000 at the request of Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald. Karen argued that the parents attempt to hide their location and withdraw $4,000 from ATM machine on Friday's is the reason for the bond amount. These are not people who would be assured, we can assure will return to court on their own. Now, both parents remain largely quiet during the arraignment, besides saying they understood charges and setting their plea. Jennifer appeared to sob in between words. Prior to the plea, attorneys representing the parents said that they fully intended to turn themselves in first thing this morning for the arraignment. Now, authorities, again, they found them in what seemed to be a warehouse. Police found them 40 miles from their Oxford home. Detroit Police Chief James White spoke to Saturday news conference saying that they were very distressed when they were captured. Now, this is the reason why they're being charged. The county prosecutor charged the couple in connection to Tuesday's shooting carried out by their 15-year-old son. Prosecutors said that the parents bought the gun used for the Oxford school shooting and gave Ethan free access to it. They also failed to remove the son from school after school presented them with alarming actions. First, Jennifer didn't respond to school officials on Monday after they contacted her about Ethan searching ammunition on his phone. Instead, Jennifer texted her son that day saying, LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught. Then Tuesday, another teacher spotted Ethan drawing a semi-automatic handgun, a bullet, a person shot and bleeding, and a laughing emoji. Along with the pictures, Ethan included a cryptic wording about blood, his thoughts on life and the world and death. He later altered the drawings by scratching out the elements prior to meeting with his parents and the school counselors. Now, the parents refused to pull him out of school because they said that he had 48 hours to put the son in counseling, but the parents refused to pull him out of school, and he went back to class. Later that day, that's when he shot and killed the 4 students and injured 7 people. The high school student facing charges as an adult for terrorism, murder, and other counts. Now, I also heard today on the news that some school officials may be facing charges too because they allowed the student to go back to class after seeing the pictures. Nayyir, I'll start with you. Do you think that it was rightfully so that these parents were charged? And do you think the school should be held accountable too for letting them back in class?
It's so much that I don't know. It's so much that, so many questions that have to be asked about all of this. I do believe ultimately 4 lives were lost, right? And a lot of people were injured. So I do definitely believe that it's not just the parents, it's not just the school, it's everyone involved working together. It all works together. So I definitely think they need to be held accountable, and all those questions got to be asked to see how deeply involved each of those individuals are and how neglectful or irresponsible they were to allow this to happen that way. Again, I don't think it's just the parents. I don't think it's just the officials, but yeah, they all, because lives were lost, people were injured. They all need to be held accountable for whatever neglectful part they've played in this. If that's being charged with manslaughter, whatever it is, then that's what it's got to be, for sure. They definitely need to be questioned.
And Chike, the first funeral for the student is tomorrow. I think what was surprising, before they announced the charges against the parents, they said that the school attempted to call the parents on Monday after they saw him searching for ammunition. They called, they followed up with emails. So, and the mother never returned the call, but she got it because she texted her son, LOL, I'm not mad at you, learn not to get caught. So I think that's why the neglect was there, because the mom, she got the messages, she got the emails. So what do you think is going to happen in this case, or should happen in this case?
They're going to get into their home life. They're going to get into what he was taught at home. They're going to get into all their business, how he was raised, what their religious affiliates are they part of any subgroups? We might even find out that they were connected to the insurrection. We may be finding that out. Who knows? It's a lot that's going on with certain people, especially in that region of the country. And, shout out to my flyover states. I got love for y'all, but it's a lot of insanity going on out there. A lot. It's a lot of insanity going on in the country. But I do like the fact that we are starting to hold people that let stuff happen on their watch responsible. It needs to be held responsible. The whole saying, it takes a village, works to the negative and the positive.
Very true. Yeah. And Lynia, the fact that the parents went and hide and took out $4,000 and went in hiding on the run when their son was locked up, does that show some kind of that in their mind they could have been guilty of something?
I hate to do the joke, but I'm gonna do it. I want to know where they bank at, where they could take out $4,000 in one day out of an ATM, because I know that there are limits. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
The father bought him the very same gun that he used to take to that school and murder people. He had the wherewithal to try to convince some students to open up the door by pretending to be a sheriff. And it wasn't, and they were smart enough not to open the door. And it wasn't until he said, bro, that they
Bro.
realized, oh no, this ain't who it really is.
Mhm.
Because he was trying to get them to open up that
Yep.
door. And
Yep.
God knows what he would have done. And as soon as he said, bro, the kids hightailed it out the window.
Right out that window.
It was so chilling to watch that. It was chilling to watch that.
Mhm.
This is not the first time in the sense of he thought about this. He had a plan. I don't know how long ago the dad bought the gun, but it was a gift from his father.
It was recent.
It was recent. So there had to be some, before then there were thoughts and there was some things going on before then. And I guarantee you, like Chike said, there's going to be more stuff that comes out. I guarantee you the school has probably reached out beyond this incident, before this incident right here. I guarantee you the school has probably reached out. They probably complained about him, that something is wrong. They need to be up under the jail, all of them, every last one of them.
Yeah. And apparently, he had been called to the office that morning or early that day for the picture that his teacher found. He was let back in the class. They said the school has the right to search your book bag.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't search it. He went to the bathroom, and that's when he came out with the gun. And
but yet our kids got metal detectors in their schools.
Exactly. And this is the 28th school shooting this year, by the way.
And what color?
Right. Exactly. Well, listen, we'll take a quick break. We come back, we'll talk about Chris Cuomo and why Master P wants his marriage to be over after 10 years of separation. Right back after this.